are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. You are driven by the... Hello, Sydney here. Welcome to a brand new episode of Illuminated DiiSCLAIMER, and I hope you're finding magnificent ways of finding illumination in your path. Hope you're doing very well. As you can see, life's beautiful, life is amazing, and I'll be honest with you, there was a point in my life when I didn't feel like this was the case. I thought that everything was stacked against me and I didn't see the world in such a beautiful way. But it just made me realize that my journey took me to a place where I started seeing my blessings and I started living with them and started appreciating who I truly was, and it really inspired me to help others see that direction. So I'm doing this video now because there's a plethora of things that I use to get to a level of success and happiness which I never had before in my life at any point. But when I look back at all the things that I didn't try and it worked, it just actually made me think that instead of holding all of this knowledge to myself, I should spread the word. I should give more to you, the viewer, because I'm going to say over the course of Illuminated DiiSCLAIMER, 50, 100, I want to say as much things that I've tried or I've heard of, just so once you go through the episodes, you could try different things, and if it doesn't work, you can go to the next one. I want to give you options and options and options so you can see results and outcomes and love, self-love. So yeah, without further ado, this episode is basically about the 10 steps of the mountaintop. That's what I basically called it, because to me, it was something that I completely forgot about, which I did. But when I went back to it and I found it, it was just absolutely remarkable, because it was just another way for me to just get my thoughts and just put them into one place, which was just easier, manageable. And I realized that I used to look at this all the time, and when everything went together, I was like, wow, I was actually on the path. Even though when I didn't think I was on a path, I was still on the path. But long story short, in November 2020, I just went through, I think it was my first dark night of the soul / spiritual awakening. Just so many weird coincidences, people telling me strange things, like really strange coincidences just coming straight away, and I was like, I've never experienced anything like this before, and if I have, I didn't really take notice of it. So once all these things happened, I was like, I'm hearing all these things, talking to all these people and just getting all this information, so I'm gonna just go towards my path. Like, I don't want to be working in finance anymore as I was doing at the time, and I just wanted to just find a new path, a path where I was helping helping as much people as I could. I wanted to be on a path where I illuminated my path. I just didn't know how to. So what I did was, I'm just going to get my book quickly. I created a counselling book, and I wrote some information in different colours about what I was studying and what I was learning at the time. It's not completed, but it's ongoing, and I feel that I might actually make this into a memoirs one day, which would be quite good. But what I did when I first bought this book was I wrote, this is my mountaintop. Now, I know obviously it's going down, but I would say the best way to do it is start at the bottom, work your way up, and just in the background just write a mountain, so it replicates a mountaintop. So what I did was I wrote me, in brackets, as of November 2020, wrote about 15 different steps, and then at the bottom I wrote DiiSCLAIMER counselling services. And I remember saying to myself back then, I don't know how I'm going to get to DiiSCLAIMER counselling services, but I'm going to take 15 small steps, and then everything will start to come together the further I go up the mountain. So wrote some more, decided to buy a professional counselling diploma just so I could understand the key concepts of counselling. And I did a couple more courses here and then, but I had the work, had lots of things to sort out. So I did a couple of courses on Udemy and didn't come back to the book. But I still had this in my mind because I wrote everything down in this book and all the information that I required. It was only until, gosh, it was about a year and a half later, so it was about the beginning of 2022, I was like just going through some stuff, cleaning up my room, and the book reappeared. And it was funny because although I wrote the mountaintop and I didn't go back to the mountaintop for a year and a half, I realized I resonated a lot with what I wanted to do. And the funniest thing is, it wasn't things that were preordained, like, oh, I'm going to do this course, I'm going to do this course. Naturally, I realized that I was pivoting towards what I wanted to be. I knew that I wanted to have my own website and I was going to do counseling. But a year and a half later, I got some more insight. I was like, I want it to be well-being. I want it to be wellness. Like, counseling is good, but I just wanted to be one part of the big tree that my logo represents. It's one of the branches. And the most important thing was, it wasn't just about diplomas and studying education. It was just things that I did. For example, I started a job as a supported internship tutor and job coach. That's one step up the mountain. I got a designated safeguarding lead, level 3 certificate. That's another step up the mountain. I did my teaching and learning and I became a maths tutor. That's another 2 steps up the mountain. And what I realized was I slowly but surely got to where I wanted to go. And when I wrote the mountaintop and visualized myself at the top of this mountaintop and saw the 15 steps, to be honest with you, 3 of them was just the first steps. But when things started manifesting and aligning themselves, the rest of the steps came. Now, I'll be honest with you, there's 2 more steps, and I would say that I more or less have completed this, to be honest with you, because now I have actually got my website, DiiSCLAIMER.com, and as you know, disclaimer's got 2 eyes at the first set of eyes instead of 1, and I've got a couple more things to add to this, so I will update this, but this is just the first step. I'm going to do another mountaintop because, to be honest with you, like, the way I see it, life is continuous. It's a continuous journey of growing and succeeding and raising the bar even higher. So the top of one mountain is probably halfway through another. And we never truly learn everything as much as we can. So life is just continuous of just learning and being a student, but also being a teacher. But it's nice because a lot of us have massive plans. And these big plans, if we don't formulate them correctly, we don't know how to start them, and we risk losing our personal destiny as a result. So just writing a mountaintop and just slowly going up, you'll see yourself aligning, and you'll look back 2 years from now and just be like, wow, I'm glad I started that journey and visualized everything. But yes, that's another episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. Thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe and share to other people who may find some benefits from this. And please find some more ways to illuminate your light and also to get to the top of your own mountaintop. Take care.